Good morning, dear students. How are you all? So, dear student, this is a video of class 9, and in this video, we'll talk about the conceptual question as your subjective exam would be also there in half yearly exam. So, we will definitely prepare some of the conceptual questions in this video. Okay, and the very first conceptual question is that why is brass considered as a mixer? Dear student, you should know brass is an alloy. Okay, now brass is an alloy, and brass is actually made up of copper and zinc, the mixture of copper and zinc. Some part of copper would be there and some part of zinc would be there. Okay, now so why is brass considered as mixer? Okay, now although copper is also there, zinc is also there, and that one is having fixed percentage, fixed ratio, but why this is called as a mixer, we will talk about that one. So you can see that brass is made up of copper and zinc, as I have told you, but that I have also told that they are mixed into a fixed ratio, and that fixed ratio actually do not react chemically. If that will react chemically, then some new compound will form, and new compounds properties, you know, that one cannot be called as a mixer. And that every time you can see both the metal retain their original properties. Copper is not changing after reacting with zinc. Zinc is not changing into zinc is not changing into any of the compound after reacting copper. Both of that copper and zinc is actually retaining their original properties. So hence we can say that brass is homogeneous mixture. You can see here, dear student, I am trying to say that copper plus zinc, Zn. Okay, na? Copper plus zinc is copper 80%, zinc 20%, the mixture of that one. Here you can see the fixed ratio is there, fixed percentage is there, and that one is a homogeneous mixture. That one is in a homogeneous mixture, and you can say, dear student, copper plus zinc, that one is a homogeneous mixture, and that copper plus Zn, after reaction it is not supposed to form a new compound. Okay, na? And both of that one will retain its property, and hence it can be called as a homogeneous mixture. Okay, na, dear student. Now the next question, how would you say that aluminium is a metal? Very simple question. This one is, aluminium is a metal. Metal is a solid. You know, na? Metal is solid. Maximum metal is solid. Maximum, only some exception. One exception is there. Okay, na? You know. So aluminium is a metal. How can you say? Aluminium is a metal. That means metal, all the property you have to write. Metal is a good conductor of electricity. Aluminium is also a good conductor of electricity. Okay, na? So you can see here, aluminium is metal because of it has the following properties. At very first I have said it is a good conductor of heat and electricity. Heat and electricity. And you can see that if I will heat, if I will hammer the metal, it can change into thin wires. Metal, all the metals not, but aluminium can change into thin wires, like all the maximum many metals, it can also drawn into thin wires. Aluminum can also drawn into thin wires. So you have to compare. Metals are electropositive. What does it mean? Metals, suppose I have taken one of the metal. Again, metal is in the solid state. Here I have taken. Electropositive means what? I am telling you. Metal, when you will do chapter number 3, now you will understand that metals have some electron, and that electron is extra. So it can release 1 electron, 2 electron, 3 electron, and then after it is losing the electron and it feel relaxed and forming a positive charge over there, over that one. Okay, now so this one is electropositive. Aluminium, metal, actually metal is electropositive, and so hence we can say uh, aluminium is a metal, na? So aluminium is also electropositive. Okay, na? It has shiny appearance, no problem with that one. Metal has shiny appearance, that properties we have done. Aluminium is also having shiny natures. Okay, na, dear student? So I hope you have understood. Now you can see The next question, how gases can be liquefied? How gases can be liquefied by applying pressure? If suppose I will take one container, here I have taken one container, here one space is there, and in that one gaseous particles are there, gaseous particles are there, they are moving in the random direction, and with the help of a piston, but you have to decrease the temperature also, decrease temperature, okay na, temperature, okay, URE, TMPERATURE, temperature, and high pressure, increasing the pressure, okay na. Height you can see, first of all height was 5 meter, now I am decreasing the pressure, this height is continuously decreasing, from 5 meter it is coming 2 meter, 1 meter. The temperature, if I will decrease the temperature, kinetic energy will be released, kinetic energy will become less, and if the kinetic energy will become less, the particles will freeze, particles motions will negligible, then particle will remain stationary, then at the time I will apply the pressure, all the particles will come closer, okay na. So how gases can be liquefied? In this manner gases can be liquefied, okay na dear student. You can see the definition, the statement would be there. Gases can be liquefied by applying high pressure on it, and you can see on applying pressure interparticle distance decreases. Yes dear student, you know the particles, two particles have some particle distances are there, and that two particles will come closer, okay na. So you should know this thing. Now the next question is, a diver is able to cut through the water in a swimming pool. Which property of matter does this observation show? You have to understand this dear student. A diver is able to cut through the water in a swimming pool. Why he is able to cut that one? As you know that here the particles of water are loosely packed. The water is liquid, na? The water is liquid, so they have loosely packed interparticle forces, or we can say the particles of water are loosely packed, okay na. Water has some space na, liquid particles na, so some space, and also together that are held together by weak force of attraction, and a diver can cut through water in a swimming pool by applying greater force. Means from the hand, when they are actually kicking that water, that force of attraction breaks down, okay na, and breaks down, and that's why they are able to swim into the water, okay na. And which property of this matter is showing? This property of matter is showing here, it is written that matter attract each other. You know that water has some space, and that is actually joined with one another, and if I will hit with some force with the hand, when the swimmer actually swim, you know na, that is applying some of the force, that means the particles will break down, okay na. So this is showing that the particles of matter attract each other, okay na dear students. So you can see this one, and I am telling you that all the questions are very important. In this one only, the particles of matter attract each other, and in some questions you will also see that forces of attractions will come into the play, interparticle spaces are there. So these all that characteristic of particles of matter are very important, okay na. You have to apply this one, okay na. So I hope all of you will do that one, okay. Thank you dear students.